Cancel.
Schweezy.
Okay. So, next article is from Odyssey. Here we go. Article of the week. Blink-182's Mark Hoppus had to relearn how to sing and play after chemo for a new album. During a recent chat with Zane Lowe, Blink-182's filled us in on all that led up to the surprising reunion, which no one found more shocking than lead singer Mark Hoppus himself. Feeling lucky to back on stage at all after being diagnosed with diffuse large B-cel lymphoma back in 2021, it was actually for the other reason Hoppus was certain he never shared the stage with his both Blink-182 bandmates again. You know, the band's highly publicized fallout, that is, until Hoppus' diagnosis shifted everything. While he and the drummer Travis Barker always stayed in touch during the band's time apart, his relationship with Tom DeLonge was quite the opposite. However, when cancer entered the picture, everything changed with their friendship, but also in many other ways. By September of the same year, Hoppus was cancer-free, but it took a while to get back to normal. I was still fucking hollow, just a shell. He shared, I had a shitty weak brain eaten with the chemotherapy and pain and everything else, and then getting back in the studio to make this record was like learning how to play bass again. Mark revealed to Zane Lowe how chemotherapy forced him to relearn how to be a musician again. The chemotherapy wrecked my vocal cords. I had to go to work with a vocal coach. I had to rebuild my throat. I had all this stuff, had to rebuild to get to the point where we could go on and walk on stage at Coachella and have one of the biggest shows of our career and have this album, which, touch wood, is one of the best albums we've ever written. DeLonge added in how Blink-182 and had Hoppus back, drawing parallels from the diagnosis to the fatal plane crash that nearly killed Barker back in 2008. I remember sitting with Mark at his house, and it was just very, very much like, you're sick, DeLonge said. We're going to get you through this, and we're going to make the best music we've ever made. Let's do it. Let's have a North Star. I wanted him to have a North Star. And that's exactly what they did. It feels like the best time in the band in forever, Mark gushed. So yeah, it's that time of the episode where I get to discuss Blink-182's new album, which came out last Friday. So even by the time this episode comes out, it hasn't even been a week old. And I gotta say, it's fucking the best. It's so fucking good. Is it their best album they've ever made? That is up to you, but I think it is. I can't imagine, like, I don't know, it's okay to have a favorite album a band's made, but it's hard to say, especially a band like Blink-182, like to say this is their best album, because it's just like, is it better than Enema of the State? And you're like, some parts yes, some parts no. And like, is Enema better? Some parts yes, some part no. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, is it better than that? Yes, sometimes no. And then, you listen to Neighborhoods, that has its own different vibe to it. The Untitled record has its own different vibe to it. So it's hard for me to want to rank it by like what I think is actually their best album, because I think what can be considered their best album is subjective. But I think we can determine, is this a good album or is it a bad album? It's a good album. It's just like Enema of the State, good album. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, good album. And really, if you look back, like, they've never really released a bad album. Even 9 in California. I like California a little bit more than 9, because 9 was just way more poppy and just really was a real big departure. It just didn't feel like Blink-182 on 9, but fuck it. But also, Matt Skiba is the fucking best. I think Matt Skiba liked something on the Cancel Schweezy page, and I think it was it looked like his actual page. So thank you, Matt Skiba. I'm happy you like to post from like forever ago that I posted on. But like, no, dude, you're the fucking best. I'm so excited for the new Alkaline Trio record and stuff like that. So yeah, and this article makes it like, was Matt Skiba and Blink-182, or was it like Mark and Travis, making a Blink-182 record without Tom, and they needed a guy to do stuff with, similar to that. But yeah, no, the album, totally phenomenal. I really do think I think yesterday itself, I just listened to Anthem Part 3 on repeat. That one, like, you can't go that heavy on lyrics with your first song, okay? Like, and like, just like, and what makes this album, I think, good, because when bands get to their age, like Blink-182, they almost get to a point where they're like, I don't think they have anything else to really sing about, Like, I feel like it's okay to admit, like, I think I'm done writing songs. I don't think I have anything else, like, good to say, or like, you know,
You bet I'm coming up in May.
like you know, you're just like, I think I'm done with everything I have to say in songs, and I think I'm just gonna move on with life. And you do what Billy Joel does and just performs the hits, stuff like that, or kind of what Garth does. I don't know if Garth really how much into like songwriting he actually is, but like he plays a lot of just like hits and like he'll hit up covers, which is really cool too. So yeah, so I don't know with this album though, it had that whole aspect of like Tom leaving and rejoining the band. You had that. You also had Mark's cancer diagnosis, which is really interesting because you're just thinking like, oh, there's songs about cancer, but with what Mark is doing, he wrote like he wrote about his feelings at the time, where it's like it wasn't necessarily the cancer, where the cancer was a problem. I mean, obviously that would definitely be a problem, but at the same time, he thought like, oh, people find out I have cancer, they're just gonna be like, fuck you, you deserve this, yada yada yada, stuff like that. And like when you know, and no matter how much, like, because I remember when it was announced, I was in the airport and I was just like, this is a bummer. And it was just all love and support. I didn't see anyone, and I don't even know people who are just like, fuck Mark Hoppus, you know? It's not a guy you like. The only thing that seemed like, fuck Mark Hoppus, Tom DeLonge is way better in the band. I'm like, they're both similar guys or whatever. So stuff like that. So yeah, and it's just really, and I don't know, like it really makes you think about like, oh, like I might be dying, you know, and you know, as a songwriter, I think about that, like I might be dying, like what else do I have to say, you know, how do I feel right now about this, you know, always some interesting stuff. So like they had solid like lyrical ideas and ideas they wanted to put into songs, stuff like that. So like regarding like most bands their age, they're just writing. I don't even know what they're writing. They're just writing like I'm gonna write about being in love with a girl who broke my heart, even though I'm been happily married for over a decade and just my life is in a good spot. Writing about being sad, I'm like, you can tell this is fake, but like this album doesn't feel fake. This feels like real. I mean, lyrically, I just think it's just phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal lyrical album. Is it overproduced? Yeah, it is feeling like MGK, but like it's Travis Barker producing it. So drums are very processed, which is very weird. How if you listen to Taking Back Sunday's Louder Now versus this record, like how much drums have changed in that time. Very interesting. But overall, 10 out of 10. Mark learning how to sing. Yeah, you kind of had to do that. People, if you think like it's easy to sing, like you don't understand how much what like really goes on in your body when you have to sing. And so, yeah, having to relearn that and stuff like that, you're like, all right, I'm gonna try to hit this note, and then you're like, and you're like, okay, gotta figure out how to do that again, stuff like that. And I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy for those watching, but yeah, overall, I think at the end of the year we do our my favorite albums of the year. Spoiler alert: this one is gonna be on that album. So,
What?
all right. Thank you for watching this clip.